What's up, YouTube family and Browns fans everywhere? This is Cleveland Football, and I'm your host, Terrence Hudson. So, what can I say about yesterday's game 1 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers? We didn't lose, but we didn't win either. Tie. So, looking back at it and kind of watch some of the highlights over again, this was definitely a winnable game. One that we could have won, one that we should have won. Scored 21-21. I see at least another touchdown or two that we left on the board. I'm gonna chalk some of it up to the weather. This was a sloppy game. This was a sloppy game. Hold on, y'all. What's this? But yeah, it was a sloppy game. I'm gonna have to chalk it up to the weather because the rain, it was coming down. It was coming down, and that changes a lot, especially when it comes to the pass game. Slippery ball, wet field. We saw a couple drops by Njoku at crucial moments, but that's something that could be worked on, something that could be fixed. We saw the run game kind of took some time to get it going. The first half, we could hardly get anything, and I think some of it had to do with I think some of the runs at certain times, like we were trying to get to the outside. They had that closed off. I thought we had more luck going inside and eating up yardage inside than we was trying to get to the edge. Tyrod was able to get to the edge, but being a quarterback and things breaking down, yeah, he could get to the edge. But a lot of our runs trying to get outside, we just couldn't get there. We did pick it up some in the run game in the second half, where we started to find some holes. We started to break loose. And I thought that was something, we could have stuck with for a while and pounding them. But once you get behind, the sticks and once you get in the long down and distances, then, you got to get the ball downfield. In the pass game, some of the things that surprised me was Landry downfield. I know people think like, oh, he's in between, the linebackers type of guy, in between hash type of guy. But, he caught some downfield passes. So I like what I saw there. I thought there was a couple more we could have completed. Looking at the one the pick that we threw up to Josh Gordon, I just thought Tyrod was trying to make it a little bit like throw the perfect pass instead of just, throwing it out there and letting Gordon run up under it. And I know what do I know? I haven't played quarterback since the 9th grade, and I sucked at it. So but as a receiver, if I got to step on a guy, I want you to throw it out there, let me run up under, give me a chance. Yeah, it is times where you throw up the jump ball, but we saw that work closer around to the goal line. But if we could just get that ball out there, it don't have to be the perfect pass where you just drop it in every time. Sometimes you just gotta let it go and let your guy go get it. But I see some promise there. These are things that could be fixed, things that could be corrected. And again, the weather, it was coming down. But you have to be able to play in the rain. You got to be able to catch in the rain, throw in the rain, block, run. So this is what you're going to see. This is Northeast Ohio. Wait till that snow comes down. And Tyrod is no stranger to any of these things. Neither of the guys that we have in the backfield when it comes to Carlos Hyde. But we'll see what Nick Chubb coming from Georgia. So we'll see how he does up here in the cold once that hawk gets coming off that lake in November and December. And that's when you really want to pound some people out. Look, defensively, what can I say? Denzel Ward, he's vying his case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That'll be 2 years in a row. In Ohio State defensive back with Marshawn Lattimore last year. But I think Denzel Ward could be a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year if he keeps up the play like he did yesterday. So with 2 big interceptions, keeping us in it. We saw Myles Garrett really get after Ben Roethlisberger, putting a body on him. If you saw my last video, the preview video, when I talked about bringing Roethlisberger down, actually getting a body on him, and he was able to do that. I know once we had a penalty in the first half where he really stuck it to him. I thought that one was really close. That was really close because, it'd be hard to stop once you get that close, and they just thought he put too much of his, body and his force onto him, bringing him to the ground. And that kept the drive alive, and they went in to score. Defensively, looking at the run game, Connor was getting off. But looking back at some of that, they had the right plays called for the defenses that we was in. So a lot of them holes was just big and open because I think more so of those we were looking at stopping the pass game, and Connor was getting his off. But again, we made plays when we needed to. We saw the forced fumble on Connor. We saw the forced fumble against Ben, the second one in the second half, and then overtime. With Schobert. We had some costly penalties at the wrong time, the block in the back, and that's just, Garrett just trying to make a play, and you in the heat of the battle, but you gotta have some situational awareness and be able to pull up and say, oh, I can't hit this guy square in the back. But, I chalk that up to playing hard and just getting after it. And, again, these things that could be fixed, things that could be worked on. I know when they look back at the film, I'm going to see like the points and just the chances that we left out there. We got to be able to take advantage of those things in the future, and I think that we will. But for the first game, again, this is a league where you come to win. This tie, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's not a loss. You look at the standings right now, you're a half game back from Baltimore and Cincinnati, but we'll see them down the road and just win the ones that we can. Take advantage of the plays that we can. So I expect, both sides of the ball just to get better. We'll be better on offense, and we'll continue to be better on defense, which is scary. So these quarterbacks better watch out. Pittsburgh better watch out. I think it's our time, and I can't wait till we see you later on this season. So mark your calendars for that. Later on this week, I'll be giving our preview of the Browns at the New Orleans Saints. So we're going down to New Orleans. We got some Ohio products down in New Orleans, some Cleveland, Glenville products down in New Orleans as well. So we get to see these guys, and it should be some exciting matchups. So I can't wait to break these matchups down, and we'll see what happens. So if you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe.